At age 16, I was a dropout, high school dropout. And I went to work full time as a Western Union messenger.
Delivering telegrams.
Delivering telegrams.
We better say that because there will be a generation that won't know what Western Union was. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's true too.
Right.
And so I worked in the area of Manhattan called the Chelsea District, which is around 23rd Street, 9th Avenue. And at the end of the day, I had several ways of getting back home. The easiest, fastest way was with a subway, which was a nickel in those days. When I was feeling flush, I might go for a bus for a dime. And then when I was really getting reckless, I would take the Fifth Avenue bus, which was the elite of the buses. Was 15 cents. And so I would walk over to Fifth Avenue, take that bus. And it would take me up through all the...
Welcome to The Stand, Judge David Sachs. Hot water burn, baby.
Nice.
That's really good.
It's the first show from J.
If
Cobb
I'm
Productions.
the judge, then what does that make you? Are you like the bailiff? Like what?
Yeah, I'm kind of like the host. You know, like I'm
okay.
the
He's the
who's this
punch-up
guy
guy.
who does American Idol?
Ryan
Ryan
Seacrest.
Seacrest. I'm like going to be the new Ryan Seacrest. That's what they envisioned for me, and that's my first spin-off show. So here we go.
We'll let your winners ride.
Rain Man David Sachs.
And instead, we open source it to the fans, and they've just gone crazy with it.
Love you guys. Queen of Quinoa. There's a lot of news. My inbox is blowing up. I went over to Threads to see what was going on over there, and I got absolutely savaged. Threads is like all the hall monitors left one school. Like if they took the 4 hall monitors from every school in the country and put them all in one place, that's Threads.
What is Threads?
Threads is like Zuckerberg's
hallway.
When they saw that video of her in the hotel and how did he beat her and kicked her in the face, he kicked her in the face. That really changed the energy around these allegations. And I think that really solidified, oh no, some of these things may be real.
I think the video shocked the world and made people realize that she was telling the truth if there was any doubt of it before.
The weight of this video isn't lost on Sean Combs. He reacts quickly with an apology.
I was up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it.
It has really made a huge difference for them, and they're very, very grateful. So thank you, thank you. Also, I know I have put out barely any merch over my years on YouTube, but I do have a new collection dropping today when this video goes live. I'm actually wearing one of the pieces right now. So as you can see, it says TCKR, which stands for True Crime with Kendall Ray, which is the name of the podcast version of this show. And eventually this channel will be rebranded as True Crime with Kendall Ray. This crew neck is actually celebrating my 10-year anniversary of being on YouTube, which I cannot believe I'm saying that. That sounds incredibly weird. It makes me feel really old. And my 10-year anniversary was actually on August 2nd, 2022. But what was I doing that day? I was pushing out a baby. So I was unable to launch merch on that day, obviously, but we finally have it ready to go. So True Crime with Kendall Ray. And then it also says stay safe out there, which is kind
I think it's going very fast. I certainly think if I could transport myself back 3 years ago, it would seem like unimaginable progress.
This is amazing explosive growth of intelligence that's coming in our decade. Everything will change.
When Stargate was first announced, there was a lot of skepticism. A lot of people thought it's just too big to be true. So this is your very first look. Hello.
Hey, Emily.
Thank you so much for having us.
Welcome to Abilene.
It's so awesome to be here.
Yeah.
It's all happening.
I know.
How many people are on the site?
Today we have about 2,200 people on site.
The guy at the heart of the Stargate build in Abilene is Chase Lockmiller. He's the founder of Crusoe, the little-known data center startup overseeing this massive project.
We started
law putting TikTok out of business. The Supreme Court approved that law. Trump has postponed enforcing the law long past all the deadlines that were supposed to be there because he likes the way TikTok covers him. Remember, one of the rules of authoritarianism is the protection for the culpable is as much a resource for the authoritarian as harassment of the innocent. The goal and end state of all of these evolutions, of these pressures, of these changes in the media landscape, is to create a world, or create an America, in which nobody will know anything that can be relied upon and shared with neighbors. Instead of knowledge informing our politics will inform our knowledge. Now, there's no ready answer to this, but each of us as an individual has a power to do something about it, to be a better consumer of news, to be a wiser user, to read more carefully, to question more of what we see, to fortify our immunity.
I don't spend the money that you would think I'd spend. It's odd because you have all this money in the bank, but it doesn't really change what you do day to day.
My question for you is, what stops you from using your wealth to change somebody's life?
Nothing. Listen, I live 3 places. I live in Florida, I live in Maui, Hawaii, and I live in New Hampshire. But I've taken my wealth and done certain things. Like in Florida where I live, I ran a constitutional amendment twice to legalize medical marijuana. I lost the first time, but I won the second time with 72% of the vote. I believe that income inequality is the #1 issue facing America today. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. And every day the gulf is getting wider. So what did I do? I ran a constitutional amendment. I spent tens of millions of dollars to raise the minimum wage from $8 an hour to $15.
Was going again after wokeness in the military, and he railed against what he called fat dudes and men in dresses. So, again, this is optically, I understand the left being very, very upset about it, but it happens to be something that the American people agree with, and so do the people who enlist in our military. I understand that editors around the nation are very, very upset about what Pete Hegseth did yesterday. They are very angry because they believe that the military should be a place for social engineering as opposed to a place for war fighters. Well, Secretary Hegseth was a grunt. He's a person who served in the trenches. He was on the front lines. And what that means is that he is significantly more in touch.
I had a childhood experience with a UFO previous to that when I was 10 years old. So I didn't really get an interest in UFOs at all. I just thought it was strange. It was also a shared experience with my mother.
What was the experience?
Well, it was just a red orb that came down. It looked like it came from atmosphere, distance, and then it kept approaching my bedroom window and ended up kind of hovering near the bottom of my street. And I was screaming to my parents, there's a strange light outside, and nobody responded. So I ran out to get my binoculars, my dad's binoculars, and ran out to the front lawn. And finally, my mom was the only one that responded. And we both got to see it taken off as it came across the rooftop of my friend Eddie's house at the bottom of the street. And that's what she got to see, my mother and I.
Did it make any noise?
Wandering down the narrow alleys and crumbling cobbled boulevards, and all the time writing about what he saw. And everywhere he went, he became increasingly aware of the vanished history of this ancient city. While the Ottoman Turks who lived there increasingly referred to their city by the name Istanbul, Gautier, along with much of the rest of Europe, knew it by a different, much older name. That name was Constantinople, and it was a city that had been at the heart of another very different empire, one that had been the foremost power in Europe for centuries. This was a power known as the Byzantine Empire, or more simply as Byzantium. Byzantium had its beginning as the eastern half of the Roman Empire, while the